Hey everybody, welcome to GodQuest. I'm your host, Myles Young, and I'm delighted and honored that you took the time to be with us on GodQuest today. And I am delighted to have my friend, Pastor Douglas Walker from Calgary, Alberta, Canada. Thanks for having me. Pastor Walker is one of my dearest friends, one of our favorite preachers at our church, and he's a joy to spend time discussing the things of God. He's a antiquarian book collector. He is a vociferous reader. He is a world-class fly fisherman, a father, a pastor, a man of God extraordinaire. But he is also a certified, well-qualified, but literally certified horse trainer. For many years, ran what was called Second Chance Ranch in Yucaipa, based out of Yucaipa, California. And now in Calgary, Alberta, Canada, is pastoring Truth Church. And to all the saints at Truth Church, a big shout out to you. Thank you for lending your pastor to us today on GodQuest. We are in Birmingham, Alabama. And so I'm taking advantage of this opportunity to talk to him. Something very unique to, I guess, probably of any church I know of, I think is just highly inspirational and as well as innovative, and is unique not only to you, but to your church. But I want to talk about it, and I don't even know what you call this, except it has to do with a radical new approach to connecting in your community. So Calgary is home, see if I get this right, to what is known as the Calgary Stampede.
Right.
Okay, which is, I want you to unpack what that is, and what did you see in that thing that you could leverage for the sake of the kingdom?
So there's a few things. When I was in Yucaipa, I thought that was over. I thought that was a closed chapter. And I get to Calgary, and I kept my saddles because I was getting back into horses.
Now, time out. You had worked with over 6,000 kids, from what I remember.
Yes.
6,000 kids in the Los Angeles School District. And
School district, and yes, and the juvenile prisons, or jails, whatever they call that.
Taking horses, let's see where we're going.
So I would take the horses in there and give life lessons. And I thought that was kind of behind me. But I kept my saddles because I was going to ride recreationally. I get to Calgary. It's a fabulous city, 1.4 million people, skyscrapers, super clean, has a little bit of a European kind of feel to it, a little bit. And
Joey Tomato is there.
Yeah. That's between him and Brother King. It's been a while since I've been there. But so I hear about Stampede. And Stampede is the largest stock show on planet Earth.
Really?
That's not like me saying that. That's their moniker. That's their, their brand. And so I'm like, well, this is amazing.
Yeah, if I remember right, the stadium is shaped like a saddle.
The Saddle Dome. It's called the Saddle Dome.
Okay, I didn't know that.
So the whole, Alberta's the Texas of Canada, they call it, because oil and gas and horses. So the first year that I'm there, I think, well, maybe what I'll do is I'll just rummage up a horse and kind of dust off the Second Chance Ranch spiel, and let's go for it. And it was like God just spoke into my heart and said, you're supposed to do that here. And so we did it. And then when we did it, the following year, we had about 1,000 or 1,200 guests. Somewhere right around.
Wait a minute. What did you just say?
We had 1,000 guests for sure. So the way it works in Stampede is...
Okay, you heard that right. 1,000 guests.
Yes.
Okay.
And so in Calgary, let's just take the Mercedes-Benz dealership. Okay. They will put on a pancake breakfast. Okay. Every major business in the city hosts these free pancake breakfasts. And there's a big website you go on and find out. And every day that you're in town, because there's so many
During the Stampede.
Yes.
They're coming from all over the world.
Coming from all over the world. And every day that you're in town during the Stampede, you can go somewhere and get free breakfasts.
So Mercedes does it. So you can look at their Mercedes.
Yeah. And so I thought, well, why don't we just do pancake breakfast on Sunday morning, and I'll just preach off of a horse.
True church becomes the Waffle House.
Yeah. So we did it, and it was a smashing success. Okay. We went on. It was on the website. Man, they're lining up, and the crowd just overwhelmed Truth Church, and we did it. We pulled it off. This year, we had 1,600.
Okay.
Yes.
They're coming for more than pancakes.
Right.
Okay. So what were they coming to? You dusted off the saddles. You got pancakes together. What did you do?
Okay. So what I did is I went in the arena. I had 2 horses that I'd borrowed. I never
set up a temporary arena at the church.
Yeah. And just a round pen. Went in there. And so I am an EAL instructor.
Okay.
What that is that is an acronym for equine assisted learning.
Okay.
So you know how, let's just take your Sunday school director or whoever. They're going to do a Sunday school lesson, and they're going to do a little science project thing and do a demonstration. Okay.
Okay.
Well, mine is just with bigger demonstrations. Mine are like 1,200
You're not using a felt board. You're using a 2,000-pound horse.
Right. But it is an analogy. And so what it is I've tapped in, and so we actually just got a ranch right outside of Calgary. And so Second Chance Ranch is up and running in Calgary right now as we sit here. Now, here's the miracle. When I announce it, I step out and I sign the agreement, and somebody, not from, the general fund, not from, True Church offerings, somebody from outside of our resource pool donates the entire year's worth of payment on the ranch.
For the ranch.
Ranch paid for.
Because they see the connection between faith and these horses.
Yeah.
And there's a love for that in that part of your community. And they're stepping up and making this possible.
Right. So in my estimation, okay, and this isn't a definitive statement. There are 18 books that every leader should read.
Okay.
And should.
And this is coming from a book expert. All right. So pay attention.
Okay. 18 books that are dynamic, life-changing leadership books. But how do you reach people who are coming in off the streets? These young people, like the 2 participants in our program right now, I'm not there to make them cowboys, okay? I don't care if they ever... I got one guy that'll go... He went through the program. He never got on the horse. But he's learning the groundwork. He's learning the...
Discipline.
The stepping stones for how to control body language, how to transmit and telegraph messaging, even with his body. So I took these...
He's working with the horse.
Yeah.
Under your...
I'm in the arena with him.
You're teaching.
Yep.
And he's learning not only about that horse, he's learning about himself.
Yeah. So my motto is training horses to develop people. Okay. So as I'm training the horse, I'm really developing the person. And they're never going to read all them books.
Right.
A lot of them come in and they're, new to this whole thing. They're like, I never read a book in my life. Okay. But yet, how do I teach leadership development to people who are not given to the bookish side of life? So I get them in there and like, you can teach leaders and put them up in front of 200 people, but man, that's a huge fail if they don't do it right. Right. And then people are really nice. He may not be a great leader or a good leader, and he may make some mistakes, but he doesn't get graded instantly, whatever. But when you put one in the arena with a horse, as long as they're doing the wrong thing, that horse is going to behave in a certain way. So what we've done is we've taken the natural instincts of the herd behaviors.
Okay.
Okay. and teach leadership development, character development, communication development, using that horse as a crowd of sorts. Wow. And if you get this right, that horse is going to turn around and respond to you. But if you get this communication, this leadership thing wrong, that horse is going to keep doing the wrong thing. So it's leadership development in real time with instantaneous grades.
So you can see how this would impact the way a father works with a child.
Yeah.
Way people work with others.
Yeah.
And you've tapped into this hunger in the community, our interest, to the point that you had 1,600 visitors on the Sunday of the Calgary Stampede.
Yes.
I guess the real reason I wanted you on the podcast is not everybody can do that, right? Not everybody can train as an EAO instructor. But you've got gifts and talents. Yep. People have abilities in their context, in their world, in their skill set, in their gifting. My challenge is use what you just heard as an inspiration, but as impetus to figure out what can you do in your life, your ministry, your church. How can you connect with your community? How can you connect with your gifting and ability? Is there a way to bring them together? And it may not be you. It may be someone in your church. It may be a brother that has an ability or a sister that has an ability to do something. This has been a podcast today to just stir you to think, get out of the box. This is a quest we're on to find what is God doing and what does God want to do with me. Pastor Walker, thank you so much for sharing. I look forward to hearing what God's going to do at the ranch and with Second Chance Ranch Part 2, new and improved. And I would just love to see an amazing revival break out from this. So thanks for being with us, and I look forward to seeing you next time on GodQuest.